Today we're going to be looking at this home and one other. These are stunning new construction homes in Eagle, Idaho. We're right on the river. You'll see how close we are. You can literally walk to the Boise River from here. You're 10 minutes to Costco. And these two houses, not only do they have RV bays and some really awesome features that you guys have to check out, but you have waterfront properties. We're gonna take a look at this house first, which has one of my favorite upstairs, and I know a ton of people who have looked at these homes who also say this is one of their favorite houses. And then at the end, we're gonna take a look at a home that has some features I haven't seen in any other house other than some completely full custom multi-million-dollar houses, and you're not gonna pay that in these. The other thing is these two homes right here are model homes, but they're actually for sale. So you can buy these homes, which is another big plus, to be able to see a house and be able to buy it in these videos. So let's go ahead, let's jump in this house right here and take a look. Now, stepping into home number one, right here to my left is one of my favorite features of this house, and that's before we even get into the upstairs, which is one of the coolest features and something that you don't find in a ton of homes out here. But coming in off the living area where I just was into the front of the house, you're gonna see as you enter this home, you have 20-foot ceilings, so a master grand entrance. As you walk into the home, you can kind of peek at the upstairs there. And then right off of the front, you have to your right, you have a little living area that heads into the kitchen. You could turn this into an office, you could turn this into a study, you really could turn it into a formal dining area if you wanted to. So lots of things you could do here. And where we are at is in Bald Eagle Pointe in Eagle, Idaho. They're a newer builder here in the Boise area. They came up from Southern California, and as we go through these homes, I'll talk about some of the high quality finishes, some of the high quality builds that they offer and they really bring to the Boise area. That I love having these types of high quality builders in the Boise area. Then heading off the front on the other side, so when you walk into the front and off to your left is where you have some of your first spare bedrooms. You have your bathroom right off the front here. So right as you walk through the front, you have a half bath, which is always nice for entertaining. People have a bathroom to use right off the front. And then your laundry room is right off here to the left, and that will head into the master, which we've seen in some of these other homes. But as we take a look at the master here later, we'll walk through there. And then this is your first bedroom off the front, spare bedroom, and it has its own full bath. So this is where that multi-generational living comes in, or if you have guest stay, they have their whole section in the front of the house where they have a bedroom, which is a little bit of an oversized spare bedroom. You have a full bath with a walk-in shower. And so this is one of the first things that you'll see with Woodridge is just nice finishes. So even though this is a spare bedroom, a spare bathroom, you get the tiling, you get the built-in shelving, and you get a walk-in shower, which you just don't find in a lot of homes, even some of the more luxury builds in the Boise area. And then you get these grand 10-foot ceilings, even for a 2-story home. So your first story is still 10-foot ceilings, and not only that, but of course you get the 20-foot ceilings in that grand entrance. So this is the first spare bedroom for that, multi-generational living, or of course if kids, just nice to have that bathroom right in their bedroom, to have this whole section in the front of the house, as well as the laundry room right here that does eventually connect to the master. And then walking from the spare bedroom back to the front of the house, and then from the front of the house, this is where you get into the main entrance. And as we head into the main living area, you can see these big sliding glass doors, and this is first covered patio. This one's more covered than you might see. It's almost a secondary living area. So you have 2 grand sliding doors here, and you have 2 grand sliding doors on the other side. So you get 4 sliding doors into this big open patio area, which is something that again is a special feature and just an upscale living style that you're not gonna find in too many other homes. And it's one of my favorite parts of this house, and that's not including the upstairs that we're gonna take a look at later. But you could almost turn that into a dining area. You can hang out, watch football out there, you can throw a heater out there, and then most of the year, it's nice enough in Boise for 9 months out of the year that that's gonna be where you're gonna spend a ton of time eating dinner, watching football, hanging out, entertaining people. And of course, you have the waterfront properties out here, and there's only a few left in Bald Eagle Point. So keep that in mind, is this community has sold almost all of their lots. There's only about 10 remaining, and only a few of those are actually waterfront properties. And as you'll see as we go through this house and the next house, these big sliding glass doors is a cool feature of Woodridge that I love. And they have these big sliding glass doors that let in all of that natural light. And there's a ton of them in a lot of their houses to give you that, extra luxury feel without the full luxury prices that I talked about in the intro, where some of these features that we have, especially at this last house we look at, I haven't seen unless you get into the multi-million-dollar homes. But coming off of that, you kind of have your main center of the home, and then you have the living area. So the living area is connected to more of a less formal dining area. You obviously can fit a pretty big table here. You can fit an 8 or even a 10-footer in this area, so there's plenty of space. And then off the living area is where the kitchen is. And you'll see this house has a little bit more masculine, darker feel. You can see the darker gray cabinets with the white countertops. You have the dark gray mantle, fireplace that goes up to the 10-foot ceilings with the built-in dark cabinetry over there. And this is the style of home that this is. The other one's gonna be a little bit different style, but of course, Woodridge is gonna be almost not fully custom, but about as close as you can get. So even if you don't buy these model homes, you have super custom upgrades that you can choose what you want. You can kind of choose your floor plan. You can add and subtract things, pick all of your finishes if you did choose to build with Woodridge. And the other thing is, not only do we have Bald Eagle Point here in Eagle, but they're building in Star, and they have 2 or 3 other communities as well. And then in the future, they're gonna have some more affordable options down in Nampa, which of course, when that opens up, we're gonna be taking a look at that. But back to the kitchen, of course, you have the gas stove top, you have the vent hood that's a little bit hidden, so it's not the big bulky metal one. You have the cabinetry all the way up to the 10-foot ceilings with that underlighting in that top section of the cabinets, which is one of my favorite things. Just gives that little extra touch of luxury, looks nice. And then of course, right into the living area. And then right off of the living area here is where you're gonna have your entrance to, you have your little mudroom and the entrance to the garage with the RV bay. And before we step into the RV garage, as I mentioned, these model homes are for sale. And of course, here at Moving to Boise, we help people move to Boise. So shoot me a text or a call anytime. If you guys are interested in these homes in this community or any others, definitely just shoot me a text or a call. I'm happy to help. I love answering your guys' personalized questions, and then just having me as a resource and being able to answer all of those questions. Heading into the garage, this is another reason why we're out here, is these big RV bays. So they have the 40-foot RV bays or the 50-foots. And as you can see, this one has dual garage doors. So you have them in the front and in the back, which I love because you can pop that open in the summertime. And most people don't use RV bays as an RV bay. They actually use it as a garage, a shop, or just an entertaining area where you can make this look really nice. You can have your smoker or your barbecue out there, pop that door open, entertain in the backyard to your waterfront property, or in some of the other lots in this neighborhood, you back up to the Boise River like I talked about. We'll head back inside after this RV bay, and from the garage is where you obviously enter into the kitchen like you saw earlier. And then a little bit more about this area. So we are in Eagle, Idaho. We're it's an 8-minute drive to Costco. So you're super close to Costco, which is in Meridian. And right by Costco, you also have a Fred Meyer. There's a Winco. There's a ton of restaurants. You have Olive Garden over there. You have some more local, like Homestead. You have really good schools over there. I actually went to high school at Rocky Mountain, which is right next to that Costco. You have Gem Prep and some other more private and charter schools. So really good schools. Not only that, but Eagle has some of the best schools in the Boise area as well. So you're really close to all of that. We're also super close to Star. which is, like I said, one of the most popular suburbs for people relocating here right now. It's growing at an insane rate. So you have the Ridleys and the Albertsons and Star, as well as a lot of the new restaurants and stuff going in there. And you just get a more small town feel while still being closer to the things like Costco or the Village and Meridian. And the coolest feature of this is, I mean, we're right off the Boise River. You have a green belt here in the neighborhood. I talked to Sean here, who's one of the sales reps, and he was telling me how some of the people who live here literally just walk right to the river. They'll go fly fishing, they'll hang out in the woods. And it's just another awesome feature of this community itself in Bald Eagle Point that you just can't find anywhere else. There's only so much land along the Boise River, and finding homes like this with waterfront property along the Boise River is just something that doesn't last long, and especially at this price point for what you get in these homes. Then off the kitchen, I kind of saw it earlier, but this kitchen heads into that living area we saw at the front of the house. You also have a little wine area / coffee area, so you have extra cabinetry and countertop space to have kind of a smaller butler's pantry. And then you have your actual pantry right here, which is a smaller walk-in pantry, so not gonna be the biggest, but definitely still plenty of room. And even though the pantry's not that big, you have so much cabinetry in this kitchen that it's not gonna be an issue at all. And then you also have extra storage right here off of the kitchen as well, so you could actually turn that into a secondary pantry, so still plenty of room. And then to give you guys a little bit better of a look, this is where the main covered patio area is that I talked about walking into the house. You have your grand entrance right here, and then this is where you start heading into the master bedroom. And as you can see, it's a giant master bedroom. This is a king size bed, and you still have plenty of room all throughout. And you have these big windows to let in a lot of that natural light, with just gives it that extra touch. And then you also have a door out to your covered patio, out to the backyard, out to your waterfront property if you choose to pick a lot or this home in a waterfront lot. And then right off the master bedroom is gonna be your master bath. And when you walk in, you have extra cabinetry here and countertop space for a little coffee bar, or whatever you want to drink in the morning. I know a ton of people do love to have that coffee right off the front. You have the dual vanity, but you have the oversized one here, and then you have the smaller one on the other side. You also have the above ground, I always call it the above ground tub, but it's just the elevated tub that is another just upgraded finish. And then you of course have your walk-in shower to give you kind of that spa feel. And it's a really good size dual shower head walk-in shower with the seating, the built-in counter space, and just a big slab of, looks like almost marble or granite tiling in here. Just gives it that nice look, and it kind of continues that theme throughout this house of that darker, more masculine. When I walk through here, I kind of feel like I'm at a wine party. And so it just has a little bit more unique of a look. It's not gonna be your kind of cookie cutter. Every house is very similar. With Woodridge Pacific, you get unique feels in a lot of these model homes, and then especially homes that you choose to build. And of course, you can always customize what you want. Right off of the master bath is where you head into the master closet, which is a really good size, kind of oversized walk-in closet. And then, as I mentioned at the beginning, it leads you right into the laundry room and then back through to the front spare bedroom, with that spare bedroom that has its own bathroom. Now that's just the first story. Now we're gonna get into the second story, which has my favorite features of some of these floor plans that Woodridge offers. And then we're gonna, of course, head to this last home, which has really two things that I haven't seen in other houses, but one of them is above and beyond, and it's a super cool feature that you can do that I haven't seen unless you're in the multi-million-dollar homes. But let's go ahead and head upstairs and check out this house, one of the coolest features here. Okay, now we're upstairs, and before we check out this my favorite part of this house, you can just see we're up here on the 20-foot ceilings. You have this nice banister up here, walkway, and you can see down to the entryway. So it gives you that huge grand entrance with the dual chandeliers to give you that nice big open feel with the 20-foot ceilings. And then when you're upstairs up here, it's just cool to be able to look down and have this, I mean, really view. But then my favorite part is right behind me. And here we are again with these big sliding doors, but you get a covered patio in the upstairs as well. So you can, hang out. I know the kids always love it. This was always the cool kids' house when I was a kid, is if they had stuff like this where had a hockey table or a pool table out here on the covered patio with a view of the waterfront. But it's also connected to a secondary flex space, living area, and this section has a wet bar. So you have a sink up here with a mini fridge, extra cabinet space to really entertain people up here. You can have parties, you can have Super Bowl parties, you can watch football, you could turn this into a homeschooling section or just a big entertainment area with the other dual sliding doors on this side as well to get you out to this covered patio. And depending on which lot you have, you might have a view of the Boise River, you might have a view of the foothills and the mountains in the north side of the valley. And so just a giant extra living flex space. That's my favorite part of this house for entertaining. I know it's super popular with kids, and I just love this house and this upstairs. Definitely something that I would love to have in the future, and I know a ton of people want. And then right off of that is you have a bathroom up here as well, a walk-in closet for the bedroom up here, and it's definitely oversized. You can see that there's 2 beds in here, 2 twin-size beds. You could really fit 2 queen-size beds and have a small nightstand in the center. So an oversized bedroom up here with the walk-in closet and the bedroom, and the bathroom. But that's home number 1. And home number 2, it's gonna be a completely different feel, but it has those 2 extra features that, like I said, I haven't seen in any other houses. But it'll just give you more of an idea of what we're looking at here in the area. I'm also gonna go over a little bit more of Woodridge specific, how high quality they are, some of the great things that they're bringing to the Boise area, and of course, a little bit more on this area itself so you guys can learn about the area, learn if the suburbs are gonna be the best fit for you, because like I always say, the most important part of moving to Boise is picking the correct suburb. It can really make or break your move to the Boise area. So let's go ahead, let's check out this last house with some of these amazing features. Now we're at home number 2 with some of these special features. You can obviously see the RV bay. Over here, you have a more natural traditional look, so not quite as almost Spanish, more rustic over here. This is gonna be more of your typical kind of homey feel. It feels more like a cabin-y kind of homey feel. So not quite as masculine as the last house that we were at, but let's go ahead and step in front because these are some of the coolest features we've seen in Boise. Okay, now home number 2 from the living area into the front of the house. You're gonna get the 10-foot ceilings throughout. This is a single level home, so not 2-story like we saw, but you get 20-foot entrance with beams in the front entrance. So you still get a grand entrance even though it's only a single-story home. And of course you still get the 10-foot ceilings. Then right off the front door to our right as you walk in, you have the office space with the nice chandelier. You have that stone backsplash on the wall, which is something that I love. It gives it that extra touch. You have the big windows right off to your front patio. And so it is a good space for your office. The other one had that more living area, whereas this one you get more of a designated office space instead of like a library, secondary living area. And then right off the front on your left side when you walk into the house is the hallway to your main 2 spare bedrooms in the front of the house. And then you have the laundry room off the left right there that we'll take a look at. But your 2 spare bedrooms are here in the front. They're gonna be mirror images of each other. And so you have one right here that has its own designated bathroom. So same thing that we kind of saw in the other house where these 2 front bedrooms, this one has its own bathroom designated to give that really, you have your own side of the house, that multi-generational living or just a really nice guest bedroom. You of course have the tiling all the way up to the ceiling in this spare bathroom, which is that extra luxury touch that we talked about. And while we're on that, with some of these Woodridge Pacific homes, They are an award-winning builder from Southern California. So one story is that Disneyland was building their own residential unit complex near Disneyland, and instead of just building it themselves, they hand-picked and hand-selected builders in Southern California to build those homes. And Woodbridge was one of the people that they chose to build the homes there in Disneyland. And so that just shows how much of a reputation they have in Southern California. And so it's nice to see that high quality luxury build, award-winning, being brought to the Boise area. We of course have a ton of great local builders, but it's just a little bit extra, a little bit more competition to step up everybody's game. And it just shows how high quality these builds are. Now this bedroom that we're in right now is again gonna be an oversized spare bedrooms. You have the bigger 3-window front right here to let in a lot of that natural lighting, so really big window area. Another thing about Woodbridge is their lighting. They obviously have 4 can lights and a fan and a light in these spare bedrooms, but then of course when you go through the house, you'll notice some of the fixtures and chandeliers that they have in almost every room and the grand entrances, and even some of the extra living areas, which is just another sentiment to how good Woodbridge specific does. And then this other spare bedroom, which is a mirror of the other one, also has its own designated bathroom. So you have 2 spare bedrooms up front that are oversized, and they both have their own bathroom, which is something I don't really see too often. And just another thing about Woodbridge, that I'm loving their quality. I'm loving the homes that they're bringing to the Boise area. And then your laundry room, which is right here off these 2 spare bedrooms in the front of the house, and of course leads right into the master. And then we're back to the entrance where the office was to the right, your spare bedrooms were to the left, and then walking into the main living area, you have some closet space here, and it opens up into these big 10-foot ceilings. You have your living area right here with, again, that lighting, the chandelier fixtures that they do an amazing job of. You have, I think, 12 canned lights in the living area to really give that open light feel. And then you have the kitchen over here. So more of a standard open living area with this different feel that I was talking about. The last home was a lot darker. This one is gonna be a lot lighter with the dark floors. And we'll go take a look at the kitchen and some of these super special features that I love in this house here in a second. And then right off the living area, you have your master bedroom right off the main living area in its own kind of section of the house, with the sliding glass doors to your covered patio. And while we're talking about these covered patios, one thing about Woodbridge that is a little bit special too is any home that you build with Woodbridge, you get a covered patio no matter what. It comes standard with their builds. So even if you don't buy one of these model homes but you choose to build, you don't have to upgrade to the covered patio. And so you always get a really nice backyard space for entertaining, especially with some of these waterfront properties or the ones right on the Boise River. And again, as I talked about, these big sliding glass doors is another thing that Woodbridge is specific or known for. And then of course these chandeliers with this oversized master bedroom, you can just see how big it is. This is a king size bed and some oversized nightstand dressers. You still have room for a chair and another dresser, so really big master bedroom. And this one's right at about 2,700 square feet, so you get a little bit bigger sized home. And then heading into the master bathroom, where again, you get that coffee stand with the extra counter space, extra cabinetry to have storage, so you can have your coffee in the morning. And then this one is gonna be your dual vanity together with the oversized counter space. You have a separate room for your toilet, and then you still have the bath, and then of course your walk-in shower. And then from the master, you head into your master walk-in closet, which of course, again, does what we've seen in a lot of these higher end homes, where it heads right into the laundry room and then connects back to the front of the house with those 2 spare bedrooms here in the front. And then we'll head to the kitchen. But reach out, shoot me a question, and if you guys could, subscribe to the channel. Not only does it help you guys not miss videos, but it helps me reach more people and know that if you guys do reach out to me, I am the one that works with you. If you guys deal with me in these videos and you watch hours of me talking and listening to my voice, then you deserve to have me as your agent. So I don't pass you guys off to any other agents. I work with you, I answer your calls, I answer your texts, and I show you guys homes and the Boise area. So reach out anytime and subscribe to the channel if you could. It really does help me out and helps me reach more people who are trying to get to Boise, to have a better life, to live in a place that's safer, better for family, and everything that Boise offers. But heading into the kitchen, and I'm gonna go past this first special feature that I really love, that's unique, especially for those of you coming from California. You'll love that one right here. But this is gonna be your standard kitchen. You get the 10-foot island. I like the white countertops. This is gonna give you more of that white, lighter feel in this home. You have the oven, of course, with the microwave on top, a little bit more luxury microwave. You have the built-in sink, you have the gas stove top, of course, and then you, of course, have the cabinetry all the way to the 10-foot ceilings with that underlighting in that top cabinetry space. And then right off the kitchen, you have the back patio, that covered patio that I talked about that comes with these homes, and of course, these grand sliding glass doors, and those open up almost all the way. So you get 10 feet of open space to really open up the outside for that outside entertaining. And then right off the kitchen is one of a little bit more unique. This isn't one of the super cool things I love about this house, but you have like a designated living area with its own bathroom. There's no closet in this room, so it would be like a second living area. You could turn this into the office. I would personally turn this into the office, not the front, because you have a bathroom in here. Or you could turn it into a library, a study area, a playroom, a homeschool room where you have the bathroom in here and you don't need the closet, so you could build some built-ins. So just a little bit unique, something that I don't see in too many houses, where you have kind of this extra room off on the back of the house that doesn't have a closet, it just has a bathroom. So something that's a little bit unique there. And then heading back to one of my first favorites, but not my all-time favorite, is right here off the dining area is you have this little wine vault where you have wine from top to bottom. You have the extra cabinet space. It's a little bit of a wine cellar, and you could turn this really into anything that you want, because one thing about Woodbridge is that these are pretty much almost fully custom. So if you wanted that to be something different, or you wanted a closet in the back, I don't think it would be an issue at all. And then heading from the kitchen and the living area, you have another half bath, so more bath space for when you're entertaining. People have a bathroom to use right here off the kitchen, and then into the garage. And the cool thing here is you have dual doors into your garage with the RV bay. I can't go in there because they have that as an office space right now, but this mudroom area has the 2 doors out to the garage. And then my last favorite thing that I have not seen in any other homes other than fully custom multi-million-dollar homes, and we'll talk about the price on these 2 homes here in a second, is this mudroom right here. Or not mudroom, pantry. It's a butler's pantry, but it has an extra stove top. And when I first saw this, I thought, what the heck would you need 2 cooking areas and a sink for? But a lot of people who live here, they like to entertain, so they'll have a catering company come in and they can cook in the back while everyone's out in the kitchen eating and entertaining. They said that there's a couple in here that the wife and the husband like to cook differently, so one will cook back here and one will cook in the kitchen. But the other thing about Woodbridge is if you don't want this stovetop in this butler's pantry, you could turn that into a secondary fridge. So if you want a spare fridge back here, you can just have them insert a electrical system to have a fridge back here with a water source for an ice maker or something like that. And then of course, it's just, you can make it extra pantry space if you wanted that as well, because this space is huge back here. So you have a huge butler's pantry all the way back here, which is something that I have not seen unless you get into the fully custom homes. And that is just something that you do not see. And why I wanted to show you this house in particular is because Woodbridge does an amazing job. And now if we're looking at the price, again, these model homes, they're not on the market, but they are for sale. So if you guys are interested, reach out. But both of these homes are in the $1.2 to $1.3 million range. And if you're not ready to move right away, they're still gonna be model homes. So if you buy them, they'll do a rent back, which gives you some extra income for a few months while you're waiting to move here, or while you know, you're waiting for them to be done being used as a model home. But this is Bald Eagle Pointe. We're out here in Eagle. I appreciate you guys watching. And if you guys want to watch a video on a community that's right down the street, it doesn't have waterfront properties, but it does have views of the Boise River, something that's a little bit harder to find out here. Check out this video here where I go through Inspirato, which I go through a home that's $560,000, so a lot more affordable in that neighborhood. And then I go over 2 other homes with a view of the mountains and a view of the Boise River, and you definitely want to check that out. Thank you guys for watching. I look forward to meeting you in person.